Good morning, this is Jonathan from Miller Racing. We're here at Mainline Car Show. Pretty early in the morning, but there's quite a few people. We're set up with the GTI. I brought some parts to show you guys. We've got a pre-owned BMW wheel. Got a brand new Valvetronic McLaren 720S titanium exhaust, which is ridiculous. Weighs nothing. And I've got this Aerolarry Ford's monoblock wheel for a C7 Corvette. So just showing you guys a few of the parts that we can get for your cars. So come on out, enjoy the show. Hey guys, obviously I wasn't able to walk around too much because I was manning my booth yesterday at the Mainline Car Show, but I did get a chance to walk around and check out a couple cool cars. Here, I'll take a look at them, show you what I like, what I don't like. Please let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite cars are and why. Let's start out with one of my favorites of all time, Porsche 993 Turbo. I think this car is just so classic, so beautiful. Four-wheel drive, twin turbo, 400 horsepower, manual, rear wiper, in silver. Can't really beat this. One of the best rear spoilers of all time. Love this car. Here's a rear 3/4, just beautiful car. This one looks a bit stock, so I might lower it a little bit. You've got the classic turbo twist on there. Just stunning. 993s are just such a great car. They've got that amazing mechanical door close. If you've never heard it, go find one and open and close the door as quickly as you can. 1996 Acura NSX. Here's the engine bay. This little engine makes about 270 horsepower. As you can see, that bar is a custom titanium strut bar for the rear engine. This is a good friend of mine from many years ago. He picked up this car recently, has done a number of mods to it. He told me, yeah, the car only makes 270 horsepower, but it's every bit of those horsepower. He said, obviously because of the size and the weight of the car, it really moves. Here's a front picture of that beautiful 993 Turbo. Looks like he has a European front plate, so maybe the car has been for a jaunt on the Autobahn. Here's the interior of this 96 Acura NSX looking showroom. My friend told me, Jonathan, you have to get in this car. This is why I bought the car. So I open the door, I get in, it's super low. You literally fall into the seat. It's a fantastic driving environment in there. Beautiful seat position. The seats are super comfy. As you know, Honda makes some of the best gear shifters in the business. This one does not disappoint. And the rear 3/4 Acura NSX in red with the gold wheels, titanium exhaust. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. The original NSX is just a showstopper for me. Always has been since it came out. Just a beautiful car. Aluminum construction ahead of its time. Just beautiful car. And that rear view. That's just one of the greatest rear ends on any car ever built. Just classic, understated, just stunning. And the front 3/4, beautiful car. The red just shines. The gold wheel. He has upgraded brakes, suspension, exhaust. Just a beautiful car. Can't wait to get a ride in that. C8 ZO6, one of the best cars, new releases out there. Obviously, still very expensive. You can sticker them almost up to 200 grand, but money for the enjoyment and the power and the performance, you cannot beat that car. Cars with similar performance are selling for 2, 3, 4 times as much money. And the rear end of the ZO6, I think all C8s need a big wing. They're just a bit flat in the back. This car was not optioned with the package that gives you the ceramic brakes and the carbon fiber lip and the big rear spoiler, but I think if you have a C8, you definitely need a big wing on it. And the hand-built, naturally aspirated V8 in the back of the C8 mid-mount race car engine, making almost 700 horsepower, made it to a dual-clutch transmission. This car must be an absolute beast. And the front of the C8 ZO6, it has the wide body, the big air intakes. Beautiful car. Let me know how you would spec it. I don't love the stripes. And the yellow is very, very, very bright. It's like a highlighter yellow. How would you spec yours? My friends over at Porsche Conshohocken brought over a pre-owned Boxster Spyder. Beautiful car. 3 pedals, top down, just a great car. Here's another Corvette C8. Don't let it fool you. This car has almost every add-on you can do. He's got carbon fiber everywhere, exhaust, suspension, brakes. intake, the works. Beautiful car. Here's the rear 3/4 of that C8. It's got a carbon fiber Z51 high wing, copy, carbon fiber diffuser, titanium exhaust, forged wheels, side skirts, carbon roof. Very cool car. My friends over at Audi Winwood brought over a beautiful R8 Spyder. I didn't take a look at what the color is called, but everyone was commenting on the color. Very beautiful. Great spec, like the light bluish gray on the off-white interior. Here's the front of that R8 from Audi Winwood. This is the redesigned front end. R8s are now done. I do not believe they are making any more. If you have the opportunity to pick one up, definitely pick it up. The later R8s are all V10s. The early R8s were V8 and V10, and the early models you could get a gated manual. All right, this was an absolute showstopper. McLaren 765 LT MSO. If you don't know what MSO, it's McLaren Special Operations. Basically, you open your checkbook and you tell them what you want, and there's no limit. This blue paint is just, I'm a blue fan. It's kind of similar to Laguna Seca, but a little lighter. I can't imagine what this custom paint job costs. Definitely in the six-figure number. He had beautiful add-on aero on the front and the side and the rear. Just a stunning, stunning spec. Here's the rear Decklid of that MSO McLaren. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Just look at that. And the interior of this McLaren. He's got the center seats, the turquoise trim, the turquoise door cards, Alcantara everywhere, carbon fiber. Oh my God, I would love to spend some time in there. And the rear 3/4, that blue is just stunning. I love the little flip on the aero on the rear bumper cover, that big diffuser, the 4 tailpipes. This car must scream. And the front, so you can see it fades from the blue to the black with this honeycomb, and then he's got on the driver's side the strip of carbon fiber to show that the panels are carbon fiber, and then fades into the black. Just amazing from the factory. And I think a lot of people walked past this. They saw the front, they saw white 997, cool. But if you know, you know. 997 GT2 sitting on Forgeline Wheels. Just one of the goats out there. Rear wheel drive, turbocharged 6-cylinder, making lots of horsepower. Rear wheel drive, manual. Here are those Forgeline wheels. Obviously, we've been a dealer of Forgeline for many, many years. They're one of my favorite because their parts are definitely track tested. Many, many, many professional teams and manufacturers, including Ford, on the Ford GT race car, run Forgeline wheels. So they are definitely tested, light. They're just great wheels. Definitely one of the greatest specs on the 991.2 GT3 RS. That bright green with the Y-Sock package and the carbon fiber, the green lip around the wheels, the green brake calipers. Just a stunning spec. One of my favorites. And here's the front of that 997 GT2. Very, very understated. Doesn't look like that previous 991 GT3 RS, but very clean, very understated. But that thing, don't let it fool you. It's an absolute beast. And the rear 3/4 of this 991 GT3 RS, just a beautiful car. Once again, love that color. When I saw that at the release at the New York Auto Show, that was the same spec. It had also the green interior package as well. Definitely a GOAT for many of you out there, the Ferrari F40. You can shame me all you want in the comments below. I love the F40, but it is not my favorite. For the Ferrari supercars, for me, it's the F50 hands down for a number of reasons. But in the 80s, could you imagine seeing this on the street? Beautiful, beautiful, just fully functional car. It's got those NACA ducts in the hood, the 80s pop-up headlights, twin turbo, raw manual. I mean, F40, what can you say? Amazing. Here's a front 3/4 of the F40. It's just such a cool car. It's got the intake in the rear behind the door. Looks like brake cooling behind, in front of the rear wheel. Red, they all came in red, so if you see an F40 that is not red, it has been resprayed. These cars are a carbon Kevlar monocoque. And the rear, I mean, talk about a rectangle, but I mean, such a cool rectangle. The mesh so you can see the gearbox and the exhaust and the inner workings. The 3 exhaust tips there. Love that big wing and the plexiglass rear window, just so iconic. The rear 3/4, I noticed that the embossed F40 on the passenger side of the rear wing is only on that side, it's not on the driver's side. Just such a cool car. And another exotic coming from Montana. They must have the most exotics in the world. The interior, I mean, you cannot get more analog than that. 3-spoke steering wheel, no airbags, obviously. Full carbon interior. You can even see, if you look to the top of the picture, that green piping. That's the adhesive holding the carbon fiber of the monocoque together. You've got the manual. It's all carpet. I don't believe it's Alcantara. You've got the bucket seats, carbon fiber. I mean, unbelievable. I think all of our dream is to drive one of these. And the Scuderia badge. If you've ever just played with speccing a new Ferrari, that is a very expensive option, but one that you almost have to get. They do make it in a badge. They make hand-painted ones, which are super expensive, but you see that, you know what it is. And the race multi-pieced wheels and 17-inch wheels and tires. Can you imagine any car today with 17s? Definitely one of my all-time favorites, the McLaren P1. My next $2 million bucks, I might buy one of these, and I do love the spec. I'm a blue guy. They have the exposed carbon fiber in the front, on the side of the doors, on the rear wing. The same owner of the F40. This is their car as well. Just absolutely beautiful. I would not want to pay the maintenance bills for these cars, though. The battery alone, I hear, gives people issues, and it's about $120,000. Obviously, I only made 300 plus cars, so parts are bespoke. So if you're paying $2 million bucks for your car, be prepared to pay hefty price for service. When it's parked, it's in race mode. The car lowers on the hydraulics. The rear wing comes up. I watched a video of another guy that has one that said he wanted his wing up all the time when he drives. It's the software update to do that, $30,000. I mean, crazy. I don't know if any of you have ever thought about this. I know that you can take your McLaren to this company in England who built the GTRs. They can do anything you want. I wonder if anyone said, you know what? This hybrid's just not for me. Take the battery out. Maybe put bigger turbos on, board out a little. Just give me, 800-900 horsepower, no battery. That's the kind of P1 I want to drive. Front of the P1 smiling at you. I love the hood on that car. The front exposed carbon fiber, just beautiful. Looking down on that vent hood, that's obviously for hot air to get out of the car, keep the car cool. Carbon fiber McLaren badge. I'm sure that was a MSO option. If you can see here, that gold, that is gold plating for the exhaust for heat dissipation. The original McLaren F1 had, as you know, the gold-plated exhaust, so that's a neat touch there. That light bar around the rear opening lights up. That's the rear lights. That big carbon diffuser, obviously the entire car being carbon fiber, and the engine cover in carbon fiber, P1 in orange. Very cool touch. Look at all that carbon fiber everywhere. It's just beautiful. Check out this view. Even the window surround is carbon. That beautiful mirror, that door in carbon. I haven't seen many monochromatic McLarens where the entire car is painted in one color, which I think might be neat, but that carbon on the door is just amazing. And the P1 headlight, as you can see, shaped like the McLaren logo. Very cool touch. Once again, carbon fiber everywhere. Just a quick look at this Valvetronic titanium exhaust for the McLaren 720S. Special ops, obviously the cool coloring of the titanium. Super light. This one comes with race pipes. There's no cats in there, so not too legal around here, but probably don't put them in that many miles on your 720. Check it out, Valvetronic titanium. Here's a rear 3/4 of that R8 Spyder. Very neat. The only thing I don't like is that you cannot see the engine like you can on the coupe. It's a little disappointing. I have driven one of these cars convertible. Just an absolute blast to drive. The front of this R8 Spyder, the redesigned front end. Once again, R8s are finished, so if you want one, definitely go get one. And the rear, the Boxster Spyder. Love a Boxster Spyder. I'm sure you've guys seen the GT4 RS Spyder coming out. I mean, that's going to be crazy. Would you get the GT4 RS, paddle shifter, GT3 motor, all the crazy stuff, or a Boxster Spyder manual? Obviously, there's probably the GT4 RS Spyder is going to be double the price. If money wasn't an object, which one would you get and why? Here's a front 3/4 Boxster Spyder. Once again, just one of my favorite Porsches. And the Miller Racing Mark 7 GTI with my Momo wheels. Manual, gets me from A to B, fits a lot of stuff in it. I need the car that can fit lots of parts in it, so it works, does the job. Pretty fun. A couple cars that are special here. One of my favorites, McLaren P1. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite cars, and the same owner has brought most people's favorite Ferraris. Not mine, still love it, but F40.
Wow.
Alright, we have a form. A volunteer makes it.